What up, y'all? What up?
Let's go with it. Be back.
Cause I know we gonna. This is my shit, y'all.
No love lost, it was never love. I lost sight, found God, I'm more better love. I ain't never went soft, I'm forever thug. Yeah. And you ain't God, so you can never judge. I had guys I called brothers leave me in the storm. That's why my heart's still cold even when it's warm. All of a sudden they forget like I ain't put them on. And never had to owe me shit, I did it off the arm. Still fighting demons, ducking bullets, pulling thorns. It's funny how they still sleep like I ain't blowing horns. This female look like a male, like it's something wrong. Now I still suck my dick, bitch, nothing's wrong. This whole industry is rigged, I don't need awards. I done things never did and still don't get applause. Like I ain't got W's across the fucking board. And my mom became the GOAT when I was fucking born. 040392. And I'm only 5'7", but my gun is 5'2". It's red life till I die, but my jury sky blue. I don't need material shit, my aura can shine too. Big motion, punching the clock till my time's due. And anything making me wealthy, I'm doing it times two. Big healthy, no liquor, just water and lime juice. I'm on drugs, something I put my spirit and mind to.
I feel like something's always missing. No matter how much I do, how much I succeed, I always just feel like it's never 100%. That's what makes me have that bittersweet feeling. You know what I mean? Like this is where I first experienced what death really is.
The part of you died with your brother.
Right. Basically.
For the past 3 years, I let my fans down. I lost faith and I couldn't understand how. I had to go and free my mind and let my head down. Without the Henny, I see everything clear now. It's something about the industry, it feel weird now. It's like the music ain't music. It ain't hitting like, you don't feel it like. It's like they don't care now. It's just something for you to hear now. It's like the world shifted, too much confusion. And when I lost the passion for music is when my world ended. I was distracted by trauma, all of the drama from girlfriends to my mama fucking my mind up, to hurting my health and seeing doctors, down to about 4, 5, 6 friends on the roster. It's funny when you lit, it's a whole lineup. But this is part of the game, I took the pen and I signed up. Broke up with depression, let go my anxiety. Turn my back on the devil and neglect the society. Facing reality, accepting the pain inside of me. No more judging my honesty. No more judging my honesty. Recovery on velocity. The liquor wasn't hiding my pain, it was hiding me. Looking at life like, why would you lie to me? Like, why would you lie to me? Spirit cracked, heart broke, my love was on modesty. Decaying my quality, decreasing my quantity. Catching up to my truth, finally meeting my prophecy. I swear to God, life was kicking my ass. May seem like I had it good, but mentally it was bad. Just to get my brother back, I'll give up all of this cash. And I'll buy a flight just to take a trip to the past. Trust issues won't change, that's just something I have. I keep a lawnmower just to see the snakes in the grass. And I build a fence just to keep the snakes in the grass. And I keep a hawk just to eat the snakes in the grass. Down on my deathbed, but God healing me fast. He got other plans for me, this is part of the task. Smiling was a disguise, it was tears under that mask. Suffocating inside for years under that mask. No regrets, cause when I lost love, I found peace. When I finally dug deep, nigga, I found the beast. Since 2020, I was losing, I was down 3. I locked in, finished the album in 9 weeks. The streets hungry, as soon as I'm cooking, the town eats. Only my niggas at the table, cause they found seats. He'll first find peace, find keys, mind free. First step, find God. Next step, find me.
Yo.
That's here. That's hard. That's hard right there.
Yeah. I was sitting here today and I like Young M.A. I'm gonna play something else from her in a minute, but like so basically, you know, she has some recent situation with an ex who you know, she has liver disease from alcohol and she was hospitalized. She had a few problems. And so just a couple years ago, yeah, Young Emma. And she was hospitalized and damn near on her deathbed. And the woman she was dealing with at the time has recently released a video, and I'll share it. It's been going around, but what the biggest thing to me was Young M.A.'s response to it. You know, now that she's, you know, sober and all of that, but in her little journey. So this song is like her first. It's been out for a year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But this is her. It's called Open Scars, and she's basically is going to come out with the whole album about everything she's been through and stuff. But it had me thinking about not only my own journey, and you had talked about things, coming up with things or sharing things that are inspirational or that we could share and people could share with us. But also the thing that I was thinking about is, the woman who quote unquote exposed her at her lowest point, which that was, a year or so ago, if not two. But it's just the fact that, what is a friend? That started me down this whole road today when I was sitting here earlier today, and I'm like, this whole thing about friends and friendships and how many of them do you need, and everybody's not your friend, and all this and that, and not just friendships but also relationships, whatever kind of ships, right? And I got to asking a few of my closest friends, what they thought about, the whole idea of having friends and all this. So it just started me down this path. So I said, I'm gonna play Young and May. That's Open Scars. But yet I just wanted to start it off with that because I
Mm-hmm.
did want to talk about it. And
Yeah.
then I'll get your song too.
No. See, so my song has nothing to do with none of that.
That's okay. It don't need to have nothing to do. It don't we don't have to play right this second. We could do whatever.
Yeah, my songs. I just like to
Your
rock.
shit is on some big booty type shit.
No, nigga, do I ever put music on here that's about that shit? I don't ever do that's not my energy.
Oh, you
But
cut it out.
it's not. Yeah, I really don't even be doing that. Now, what I talk to you about on my Instagram
No,
page, what I might be talking to you about, that's a different story. But
well, let me see what song you got. You made it sound like it was a bad song. Why we
no,
can't play it?
no, the motherfucker's cold. But I'm saying it ain't got nothing to do with um you know friendships or anything positive in that respect. But
We
it's
gonna
it's
play it.
no. We can play it later though. But check this out though.
Okay, I'm listening.
I like what you just mentioned because I actually have a video that I'll share later, but it actually talks about that, right? It talks about the importance of the people that's in your circle. And you guys will hear us talk about it, and and we'll kind of get into certain details about things that from our own experiences. But I think it's also helpful to have other people that have weighed in on this same subject and are coming at it from a different angle. So typically the things that I tend to find are, or the things that appeal to me, are things that might cause me to think in a way that I hadn't previously thought about, or it may be in some senses like reaffirmation, if you will. But those are the things that I try to keep in my circumference or keep in my own personal algorithm,
Mhm.
especially to help reinforce messaging and reinforce the things and take control over my personal algorithm. Now, what happens with my Instagram algorithm? That's another story, and that's something I'm gonna be looking into to improve.
Come
Um,
on, multiple personality.
who said that? Listen, see, I'm not here for that shit tonight.
What's wrong with that? That's very normal to have multiple personalities. We know you have several. I do too. I
I'm not
think it's
even.
normal
I'm
to
not
have
gonna disagree
multiple.
with you on that.
What?
I
You're
said
not going to agree or disagree?
not gonna disagree. I'm not. I'm not gonna disagree with you on that. Interesting enough,
Uh-huh.
when I go out of town, sometimes they show up. Like I created a whole character when I was out of town the last time, and I stayed in that character for just about the whole duration. The
Did
whole
that
duration.
character allow you to do things that your main character wouldn't be okay with?
No, not in particular. However, I will say I'm more of a shy and reserved type of individual, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't bring attention to myself.
Mm-hmm.
That guy didn't give a fuck.
Okay.
So in that respect, maybe so, but
Okay.
generally speaking, and who
I thought
knows?
you were gonna say gin and juice.
No,
Okay.
no, not at the moment.
Generally. Okay.
Mm-mm. No, 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 no. We're gonna respect the journey. I keep that shit to myself.
Why? What journey? My journey?
Yeah, I'm respecting your journey 1000%.
But does that mean that
Nothing
I
I'm gonna
can't
be
talk
in
about
a fucking app,
alcohol?
huh?
That means I can't talk about
You
alcohol?
can talk about what you want to talk about, but what I'm going to talk about is typically there's certain subjects I'm just going to steer clear of
Mm.
because it's unnecessary to me.
Okay, but it does you don't feel restricted by it.
No, no, I don't feel
Okay.
restricted at all.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Because I don't want it to be weird. People to
No,
feel
no,
weird.
no, it'll never be weird. No, it's just I fucks with you the long way. So
Mhm.
that's what did it say? That's a reasonable sacrifice. It's not even an issue.
Mhm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah,
So
yeah. So
that's okay. So that's a friendship. Maybe that's a good characteristic of a true friend.
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, right? Isn't it?
No,
That's a good example.
I mean, because you gotta be the determinant. You gotta determine that for yourself. I
What?
can't determine that for you. I
What?
can't say, "Hey, yeah, I'm a good friend." I can't really say that to you.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
mean, if you consider my characteristic good, then it is good. Then
Okay. Okay. Whereas I would be like, oh, I'm a hell of a friend. That's the difference.
is that how you feel?
Why? Yeah, it depends.
Yeah. Do your
I
friends
can
think?
be.
Huh?
Do my friends think I'm a hell of a friend?
Do your friends think so?
I think so.
Okay. Well, I mean, listen,
I
if
think
you
they
got
do. Because if they're still here, they do. Because
a
I've given people plenty of reasons to not be.
I can agree with that.
Okay.
I can agree with
This is the shit I'm talking about right here.
that. There's always one.
It's always the subliminals for me. Okay, what were you gonna say? What were you gonna
No, no, no. So I was just saying that I have that concept, and so I definitely want to hear more. I didn't know about Young and May's journey. I've seen her spit previously before that song. I've seen her, and I was like, man, she kind of cold with it. But I've never kind of followed her career or listened to her albums or anything like that. I
Oh
just
yeah, it's yeah, me neither. I mean, yes and no, but not to the it means a little more now for me, but
mm,
I you know, I had this video, but I don't know, it's kind of it's not lengthy, but it's like I don't know where to start with this. It's called the tragic fate of Young and May, and it kind of what is the word?
spell it.
Chronologically displays is not what I want to say. Chronolog What's
Mm,
the word?
come on,
It
work it out.
tells her story chronologically, but
Yeah.
there's another way to say that. But anyway, just follow me. So, yeah. So anyway, it's a little. Anyway, I love it. So I don't know how far we want to go into that. It's kind
Well,
of.
we can go wherever because I think when it comes to stories about people's experiences, I'm a firm believer in this. We have more similarities than we give ourselves credit for, or we give credence to, if you will. And I
Mm,
think that's across the board. So, irrespective of your cultural heritage, I do believe we have far more similarities, and so you can derive a lot from another person's story. And I guarantee you, there's others that are dealing with something, have dealt with something, will deal with something. where there's principles that can be taken from this individual's story that she was fortunate enough to share. Uh,
Yeah.
and because I'm gonna tell you, that's one thing I think as being a man in particular that I feel like we don't do enough of across the board. And so this doesn't necessarily relate here, but it does in a roundabout way
Mhm.
because generations of people, whether it's, your daughters, your sons, nephews, nieces, friends, etc., we don't often talk a lot about our journeys in this respect. And I remember specifically not knowing majority of the men that have been around me that I was around never shared their story with me. Never
Mm.
talked about their struggles, never talked about you might periodically hear about a triumph, but I think it's important and I think we can derive a lot from it and just that vulnerability of being able to say, "Yeah, I struggle with this shit right here." I was talking to
Mhm.
my nephew one day recently. And, I was talking to him about suicide and having and we were just out, and for whatever reason, it just came up. So I was sitting there and I had a brief second and I thought about it and I said, "Should I mention this?" I said, but then I was like, "Well, why wouldn't I share this with him?" You know,
Mhm.
what am I trying to do? Am I
Mhm.
trying to keep a certain status, perceived status in his life? Am I trying to present myself as someone who's above and beyond all things? And so in that moment, instead of doing that, I was like, nah, fuck it. And I told him, and he didn't say anything about himself. So it really wasn't necessarily an opening, but I said, I remember back and I said, there were times where I dealt with this heavy spirit of suicide and and I told him, I said specifically, I was hurting and I didn't want to hurt anymore. And
Mhm.
I was tired of the pain and I was tired of not being able to fix that pain. And I couldn't run away from that pain. I couldn't hide that pain. It just kind of enveloped my entire being for this period of time. And
Mhm.
so I shared that with him. And I saw something in his eyes light up. And I had no expectation for this, but he looks at me and he says, I did too."
Mhm.
And I was asking him, I said, "Well, how long ago was this?" Because I'm thinking like, shit, I've been around you for the last, 5 to 6 years. And he would say it was during that time. And I said, and I had to sit back for a moment and just realize like the value of the time that we have
Mhm.
and why it's so important to check in on people and not to take those things for granted because I didn't know that since I had been around, he had dealt with that and not knowing and him not knowing that, well, your uncle did too,
Mhm.
and there's a way in which you can work with this though. And there's things that you can be mindful of and the things you want to emphasize in your story or in your journey, right? So So I say all that to say, I think it's great. So whether we hear something from Young and May or whoever, I think that's powerful because you can gain a lot. And her being in her position, I would venture to say that a lot of people would have never known that she's gone through all of this
Right.
and she's still willing to keep pressing forward. And I think that's powerful.
Mhm. Well, I got a little video I'm gonna share. Well, I might skip around or whatever, but um, I'm gonna play it because I enjoy watching it. And you don't even. Yes, she's a talented artist and such, but it's just her story, and everybody has a story, right? I mean, we all have one, and we're living one. Let me share, present, but I thought it was a good, and then go from there. Okay.
When Ooh hit the streets, it felt like a seismic shift in the hip-hop landscape, and young M.A. emerged as a defining force. However, life is never without its obstacles, and it appears that young M.A.'s personal demons have finally caught up with her.
Real nice transformation.
A video circulating on social media showcasing young M.A.'s new transformation has revealed how far the once great artist has fallen. Young M.A., who had relentlessly strived to stay ahead in the ever-evolving landscape of music. From releasing hits like Oh Yo You to going viral with freestyles such as Who Run It and I Get the Bag, she seemed destined for greatness.
Do you want the orange soda or do you want...
However, recent events have cast a shadow over her once ascendant trajectory. In today's video, we delve deep into the untold narrative behind young M.A.'s recent downfall, peeling back the layers of the highs and lows of this modern icon. Medical conditions. In the pulsating realm of hip-hop, where beats reverberate with the echoes of untold stories, young M.A. stands as a beacon of raw talent and unapologetic authenticity. With her undeniable talent and that elusive it factor, she possessed the charisma and authenticity that distinguishes true stars. However, everything has changed for the young rapper. It all started when a video clip featuring young M.A. began circulating on social media. In the footage, the rapper was seen at a barbershop, receiving an edge from celebrity barber Aaron "Fats the Barber" Turk. However, what caught the attention of fans was the noticeable discoloration of the whites of her eyes, which appeared yellow. The video quickly went viral, with fans expressing their concern and speculating about the possible causes behind young M.A.'s yellow eyes. One prevalent theory that emerged was that the rapper may have contracted jaundice, a condition often associated with yellowing of the skin and eyes. Jaundice often stems from an excess breakdown of red blood cells. Typically, when red blood cells complete their life cycle, they undergo breakdown processes within the liver. However, if this breakdown occurs at an accelerated rate, the liver may struggle to process bilirubin efficiently, resulting in its accumulation in the bloodstream. Liver disease stands as another significant contributor to jaundice development. Conditions like alcoholic liver disease can impede the liver's ability to adequately process bilirubin. These diseases manifest from various sources, ranging from viral infections to prolonged alcohol consumption, and can inflict long-term damage upon the liver. Adding fuel to the speculation fire is young M.A.'s documented struggle with alcohol over the past year. In 2019, she bravely revealed her battle with alcohol dependence. And in 2021, young M.A. took a courageous step by announcing her entry into rehab to confront an unspecified addiction. Since then, she has refrained from releasing any new music, leaving fans to ponder the implications of her prolonged absence from the spotlight. Fans, armed with this knowledge, began to connect the dots, further fueling the conversation surrounding her health. As the speculation grew, so did the criticism towards Fats the Barber for posting the video. Some fans accused him of disregarding young M.A.'s health and questioned his intentions in sharing the clip. However, Fats the Barber took to social media to address the backlash and clarify his actions. Fats the Barber defended himself, stating that young M.A. had given him permission to record the video and that he had no intention of embarrassing her. He emphasized that their bond and friendship were strong and that he was simply showcasing his work as a barber. Fats the Barber urged fans to focus on sending their prayers and support to young M.A. during her recovery. As a result, fans became even more skeptical about the unfolding situation. However, in a shocking turn of events, young M.A. went on Instagram to disclose what was happening behind the scenes. In a heartfelt Instagram post, young M.A. shared with her fans that she had been hospitalized and successfully treated for several conditions. Though she didn't go into specific details about her ailments, she expressed her gratitude for the support she has received and assured her fans that she is now on the road to recovery. The news of young M.A.'s hospitalization came as a shock to her fans, who had been following her journey closely. The rapper's transparency about her health struggles has always been appreciated, but this recent development has left many concerned about her well-being. Social media platforms were flooded with messages of love, support, and concern from fans all around the world. They expressed their worries and sent their prayers, hoping for young M.A.'s swift recovery. The rapper's impact on her fans is undeniable, and her openness about her health battles has only deepened the connection between her and her supporters. Despite the challenges she has faced, young M.A. remains in good spirits and is determined to overcome her health issues. She has always been known for her resilience and determination, and this situation is no different. The rapper's positive outlook and determination to bounce back are truly inspiring. In her Instagram post, young M.A. emphasized that she is taking the necessary time to heal and recover fully. She also mentioned that she has exciting plans to share her journey with her fans through her music and a forthcoming forthcoming documentary. This news has left her supporters eagerly anticipating what she has in store for them. Young M.A. has always been known for her unique style and powerful lyrics, captivating audiences with her raw talent. However, her recent health battles have undoubtedly posed challenges to her music and career. Yet, in the face of these obstacles, the rapper has displayed unwavering determination to overcome and continue pursuing her passion. Young M.A.'s music has always been a reflection of her personal experiences and struggles. Her lyrics resonate with fans who connect with her authenticity and vulnerability. Now, as she navigates through her health journey, her music takes on a new layer of depth and meaning. Despite the setbacks caused by her health issues, Young M.A. remains committed to her craft. She has expressed her determination to use her music as a platform to share her story and inspire others who may be facing similar challenges. Her resilience in the face of adversity is a testament to her strength as an artist. In her Instagram post, Young M.A. assured her fans that everything will be explained through her music. This promise has left her supporters eagerly anticipating the release of her new songs, eager to gain insight into her journey and find solace in her words. Young M.A.'s ability to channel her experiences into her music has always been a source of inspiration for her fans. Now, as she confronts her health struggles head on, her resilience shines through. Her determination to overcome these challenges and continue creating music is a testament to her unwavering spirit. Fans have taken to social media to express their admiration for Young M.A.'s strength and perseverance. They applaud her for using her platform to raise awareness about health issues and for being a role model for resilience and self-expression. Young M.A.'s journey serves as a reminder that artists are not immune to the trials and tribulations of life. Her openness about her health battles has allowed her fans to connect with her on a deeper level, fostering a sense of unity and support within her fan base. Young M.A.'s authenticity and openness are among her most defining qualities. She has always been personal about her life and sexuality, fearlessly sharing her journey and identity with her audience. Personal life. Before she became the chart-topping rapper we know today, Young M.A.'s journey of self-discovery began in her early years. Born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, Katora Marrero, known by her stage name Young M.A., had a childhood filled with both joy and internal struggles. Growing up, Young M.A. was a vibrant and energetic child, always eager to explore the world around her. But even at a young age, she felt a deep connection to girls that went beyond friendship. It was during her time in the first grade that she first realized her attraction to the same sex. Young M.A.'s realization of her sexuality at such a young age was a significant moment in her life. It was a secret she held close to her heart, unsure of how others would react. In an interview with The Breakfast Club, she revealed that she had liked girls since the first grade, a revelation that showcased her early awareness of her own sexual orientation. As young M.A. grew older, she found herself grappling with her identity and the fear of being judged or rejected by those closest to her. Her mother, in particular, would often try to initiate conversations about her sexuality, sensing that there was something young M.A. was hiding, but fear and uncertainty held her back from opening up. In the interview, young M.A. shared her inner conflict, saying, "I used to be scared to tell my moms, though I knew my moms wasn't the type of mother to be like, oh, I don't like you, or I'm going to ignore you, but part of me still was scared." This fear of not being accepted by her own mother weighed heavily on her, causing her to deny her true self. Despite her internal struggles, young M.A.'s attraction to women remained a constant presence in her life. Deep down, she knew her heart's desires, but societal expectations and the fear of judgment kept her from fully embracing her true identity. Young M.A.'s upbringing in the vibrant and diverse city of New York played a significant role in shaping her acceptance of herself and her sexuality. The city's unique atmosphere and acceptance of diversity provided a nurturing environment for her to embrace her true identity. Growing up, young M.A. was surrounded by a melting pot of cultures and a thriving LGBTQ+ community. She reflected on her experiences, saying, "In New York City, it's popular. I used to think to myself, man, there's a lot of gay people out there, and it makes me comfortable. It was like I can be myself." The acceptance she witnessed in her surroundings gave her the confidence to explore her own sexuality. However, even in a city as progressive as New York, young M.A. still struggled with fully embracing her true self. Despite the comfort she found in her environment, young M.A. initially tried to hide her sexuality. She admitted, "I used to still try to hide it until it was overwhelming. There were just two girls attracted to me." The overwhelming attraction she received from women. It wasn't until she reached the age of 18 that young M.A. made the courageous decision to come out to her family. This pivotal moment marked a turning point in her rap career and her personal life. She saw it as an opportunity to finally be true to herself and to express her sexuality openly. Young M.A.'s journey of self-acceptance and embracing her sexuality has been a powerful and transformative experience. Through her music, she has found a platform to share her truth and inspire others to embrace their own identities. Coming out officially was a turning point for young M.A. In an interview she shared, "Since I came out officially, that's when all the girls flopped. That's when it was a wrap." Her authenticity and newfound comfort in her own skin resonated with her audience, leading to a surge in popularity. People began to feel her more because she was more comfortable and genuine in her music. Young M.A.'s journey of self-acceptance allowed her to tap into her true emotions and experiences, resulting in a raw and powerful expression of her sexuality through her lyrics. Music became Young M.A.'s outlet for self-expression, her therapy, and her release. She once said, "Music is my expression. Music is my release. Music is my therapy. This is where I'm going to speak about my sexuality. I've held it in for so long, now I can express it." With her newfound freedom, Young M.A.'s music took on a whole new level of authenticity and vulnerability. Her lyrics became a powerful tool to challenge societal norms and break down barriers. Through her music, she fearlessly addressed her experiences as a lesbian, providing a voice for those who may have felt unheard or marginalized. Young M.A.'s unique style and unapologetic approach to her sexuality resonated with fans around the world. Her music became a source of inspiration and empowerment for many, especially within the LGBTQ+ community. She became a symbol of strength and authenticity, proving that being true to oneself is a powerful and transformative experience. However, Young M.A.'s journey of self-discovery and embracing her sexuality was not without its challenges. While she found acceptance and support from her fans, she also faced criticism and backlash from those who were less open-minded. But she remained steadfast in her truth, refusing to let the opinions of others define her. Young M.A.'s resilience and unwavering commitment to her artistry have solidified her place in the music industry. She has become a trailblazer, breaking down barriers and paving the way for future generations of LGBTQ+ artists to express themselves authentically. Early life. Young M.A., whose real name is Katora Marrero, was born on April 3, 1992, in Brooklyn, New York. Born to a Jamaican mother and a Puerto Rican father, her heritage painted a rich tapestry of cultural influences. However, Marrero's early years were marked by adversity when her father was incarcerated when she was just 1 year old, spending a decade behind bars before his release when she turned 11. This absence propelled Marrero to forge strong bonds with her brother Kenneth Ramos and her resilient mother, forming a tight-knit family unit in the face of adversity. At the age of 7, Marrero's life took a significant turn when her mother made the courageous decision to relocate their family to Chesterfield, Virginia. Seeking refuge from the urban turmoil of East New York, the move promised better educational opportunities and safety for Marrero and her siblings. It was in the tranquil embrace of Virginia's serene landscape that Marrero's love for tackle football blossomed, defying gender norms with her fearless spirit on the field. Yet, it was within the pages of her school books that Marrero's true passion began to take shape. At the age of 10, she began crafting rhymes, pouring her thoughts and emotions into the lines etched between the margins. Encouraged by her devoted mother, Marrero's creative endeavors flourished, fueled further by the gift of a karaoke machine. Transforming her closet into a makeshift studio, she honed her craft, laying the foundation for her future in the music industry. In 2010, Marrero's journey through adolescence culminated in a significant milestone as she proudly graduated from Sheepshead Bay High School, marking the end of one chapter and the beginning of another in her quest for greatness. However, tragedy struck when young M.A.'s brother became involved in a gang.
Yeah, my oldest brother, he passed away back in 2009. Was in a gang, and you know what I mean? He was involved.
On September 26, 2009, young M.A. experienced a devastating loss when her brother was tragically stabbed to death by his former friend. The aftermath of this traumatic event plunged young M.A. into a period of deep depression and mourning, leading her to miss school for a month. Recognizing the need for support, she later sought therapy to navigate the overwhelming emotions stirred by the tragedy. The loss of her beloved brother left an indelible mark on young M.A., fundamentally altering the trajectory of her life and profoundly influencing her music.
When he died, it definitely changed me. It really did.
The pain of his absence became an ever-present companion, a weight she carried with her each day. Yet amidst the grief, young M.A. found a source of motivation and resilience. Determined to honor her brother's memory and make him proud, she channeled her anguish into her artistry, fueling her unwavering drive to succeed and carve out a place for herself in the competitive music industry. Young M.A. poured her emotions into her lyrics, using her music as a form of therapy and self-expression. Through her powerful and introspective songs, she found solace and a way to cope with her grief. Young M.A.'s relationship with her sister was not only profound, but also pivotal in shaping her life. Being the eldest sibling, she felt a profound sense of responsibility to shield and mentor her sister, aspiring to serve as a beacon of strength and resilience in her life. Determined to set a positive example, young M.A. endeavored to demonstrate that any obstacle could be conquered with perseverance and determination. Throughout her arduous journey, young M.A. leaned heavily on her family, who served as her unwavering pillars of support. Her mother, sister, and grandmother stood steadfastly by her side, offering unwavering encouragement and bolstering her spirits during challenging times. times. Their boundless love and unyielding belief in her abilities provided the foundation upon which young M.A. built her dreams, empowering her to chase her aspirations with unwavering determination and unwavering resolve. After experiencing the devastating loss of her brother, young M.A. channeled her pain and emotions into her music. She began to gain recognition for her raw and authentic lyrics, which resonated with listeners who connected with her story of resilience and determination. Rise to fame. Young M.A.'s breakthrough came with the release of her hit single, Ooh, in 2016. The song quickly became a viral sensation, garnering millions of views on YouTube and catapulting her into the spotlight. Her unique flow, confident delivery, and unapologetic attitude captivated audiences, establishing her as a force to be reckoned with in the rap game. Its impact was undeniable, and it solidified young M.A. as a force to be reckoned with in the music industry. With the world's attention firmly fixed on her, young M.A. seized the opportunity to showcase her artistry on a larger scale. In 2018, she released her highly anticipated debut studio album, Herstory in the Making. The album was a testament to young M.A.'s growth as an artist and showcased her versatility as a rapper. Herstory in the Making was met with critical acclaim, with many praising young M.A.'s lyrical prowess and storytelling abilities. The album featured a mix of hard-hitting tracks and introspective moments, giving listeners a glimpse into young M.A.'s world. From the anthemic Petty Wop to the introspective Big, the album showcased young M.A.'s ability to captivate audiences with her unique blend of authenticity and vulnerability. The release of Herstory in the Making solidified young M.A.'s status as a rising star in the music industry. The album debuted at number 16 on the Billboard 200 chart, a remarkable achievement for a debut project. It also received positive reviews from critics, who praised young M.A.'s ability to craft compelling narratives and deliver impactful performances. In addition to her musical accomplishments, young M.A.'s influence extended beyond the realm of music. She became a prominent figure in popular culture, appearing in advertising campaigns for Google Pixel 2, Beats by Dre, and Pandora. Her unique style and unapologetic attitude made her a sought-after collaborator and a role model for aspiring artists. But young M.A.'s impact goes beyond her music and endorsements. She is also a philanthropist and community advocate. In her East New York neighborhood, she founded the Queens Foundation, a nonprofit organization that provides support and resources to those coping with the loss of a loved one. Through her foundation, young M.A. has made a tangible difference in the lives of individuals and families, using her platform to uplift and empower her community. Young M.A.'s music career is not only defined by her solo work, but also by her collaborations with other artists. Throughout her journey, she has joined forces with a diverse range of musicians, creating memorable and impactful tracks. One notable collaboration in young M.A.'s discography is her partnership with C.A. Dollar, H. Montana, on the track Walk. Released in 2017, the song showcased the chemistry between the two artists and further solidified young M.A.'s presence in the rap scene. Another notable collaboration came in the form of Thotiana Remix with Blueface, where young M.A. added her unique flavor to the viral hit, garnering millions of views and streams. In addition to these collaborations, young M.A. has worked with esteemed artists such as Uncle Murda, Project Pat, and Day Day, showcasing her versatility and ability to adapt to different styles and genres. These collaborations have not only expanded her fan base, but have also allowed her to explore new creative avenues, pushing the boundaries of her artistry. Young M.A.'s success is not limited to collaborations alone. Her solo work has also achieved remarkable chart success. She has consistently charted on Billboard's Bubbling Under Hot 100 and Bubbling Under R&B/hip hop singles, demonstrating her ability to create music that resonates with audiences across the globe. Her hit singles, such as Ooh, Petty Wop, and Big, have received certifications from the Recording Industry Association of America, solidifying her status as a chart-topping artist. These achievements are a testament to young M.A.'s talent and the impact she has made in the music industry. Young M.A.'s music career continues to evolve and captivate audiences with her recent projects and notable releases. In 2021, she made waves with the announcement of her highly anticipated new album, Off the Yak. This project showcases young M.A.'s growth as an artist and her ability to push boundaries while staying true to her unique style. Off the Yak is a testament to young M.A.'s artistry and her dedication to delivering authentic and impactful music. The album features a collection of tracks that delve into her personal experiences, offering listeners a deeper insight into her world. With her signature raw and unapologetic style, young M.A. tackles a range of topics, from love and relationships to her journey in the music industry. To accompany the release of Off the Yak, young M.A. dropped a music video for one of the album's standout tracks. The visuals are a testament to her creativity and attention to detail, further enhancing the impact of her music. The album and its accompanying visuals have garnered widespread acclaim, solidifying young M.A.'s position as a visionary artist. In addition to Off the Yak, young M.A. has continued to release notable singles that showcase her versatility and growth. These releases have further cemented her status as a respected and influential artist in the hip hop community. With each new track, Young M.A. pushes the boundaries of her artistry, experimenting with different sounds and styles while staying true to her East Coast hip hop roots. Beyond her musical accomplishments, Young M.A. has broken barriers and made a significant impact as an openly lesbian artist. She has fearlessly embraced her sexuality and incorporated it into her music, becoming a role model for the LGBTQ plus community and challenging societal norms. Young M.A.'s openness about her sexuality has not only empowered her fans, but has also paved the way for greater acceptance and representation within the music industry. She has used her platform to advocate for LGBTQ plus rights and has been vocal about the importance of inclusivity and equality. Her impact as an openly lesbian artist extends beyond her music. Young M.A. has appeared on various television shows, sharing her story and using her platform to educate and inspire others. Her visibility and authenticity have shattered stereotypes and created space for more diverse voices in the industry. Young M.A.'s contributions to the music industry have not gone unnoticed. She has been recognized with nominations at prestigious award shows such as the BET Awards and MTV Video Music Awards. These nominations serve as a testament to her talent, influence, and the impact she has made as an artist. Young M.A. has remained notably absent from the music scene since 2021 as she continues to focus on her recovery. As we eagerly await further updates on her health and progress, it remains paramount for us to steadfastly shower her with love and support. Her journey serves as a poignant reminder that even our most cherished artists are not immune to the struggles and challenges that life presents behind the spotlight. Thank you for watching.
So it's interesting to me. I was waiting. This video was done about 10 months ago, and I was waiting for him to. I was waiting to hear. I heard all the good things, and I was waiting to hear what happened, like what made her turn to alcohol and drugs or whatever else she was addicted to. I mean, I know the death of her brother, and there's so many things that it could have been, but I was, glad to hear the support of her mother and grandmother. So anyway, and I didn't know she was a philanthropist.
Go ahead. Try.
Philanth.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Philanthropist.
Go. Take the M out. Replace the M with an N.
Philanthropist.
Let's go ahead and you're missing a letter. Let's go ahead and add an H before the R.
Philanthropist.
There we go.
Philanthropist.
There we go.
I'm having too many of those moments recently.
Listen, I knew you could do it. I knew you could do it. I knew it.
What makes it so bad is I was really trying.
You did well. You succeeded. You gotta give yourself. Listen, we need victories. That was a victory. You can count that one. You sounded it out. You made it work. You made it work. Yes. We gonna be proud of that. We ain't gonna take that away.
I thought you was gonna say, show yourself some grace. Oh, back to what the fuck I was saying. Wait. Look it. Oh, hi, everybody. Look. Wait, this nigga talking about this is a no judgment. Wait. Look at this nigga right here. Look at She Ray. Look at, he said therapist. Not everybody helping out. Hi, East Dad. Hi, Tia. We were watching. I didn't see everybody in here. I was really into them. Wait.
Man.
Oh my God. I can't stand y'all. And I love y'all out the same time. Therapist. This nigga's almost a therapist. Look at Tia about one more time.
Sound it out. We gonna get
Wait.
it.
But you
right
guys
there.
really encourage me. I appreciate. Anyway, but listen, I'm not looking hood smart, man. Anyway, she's a philanthropist. Okay,
Mhm.
so that means somebody who gives back, right?
Yes. But a
Okay,
little bit more than that. I mean, they become like behind the scenes benefactors
okay,
to things, and they donate to causes that they believe in.
okay.
Um and yeah.
Okay. Um. Yeah. So anyway, so then recently, Young and May, right? We hear about her and what she's going through. So anyway, so while she was sick,
Mm.
the ex or here recently posted, and I'll bring that up really quick here, and then I'll just want to show what her response was to it. Um.
Sorry about that, Tia. I was a little bit behind on this one. But
Well,
yes,
I was a little bit behind on that.
that was a
Right.
perfect time for that.
Oh, you missed it. You
I'm
missed
gonna
the
have to
mark.
I gotta do better. Can you go
Wait,
ahead and take this off the screen for me?
wait. Okay, look at them. Okay, I'm not gonna play this whole thing, but
videos onto her Insta story that I want to update you guys on. So we're going to go ahead and get into what Jade had to say, explaining her side of everything. Now, yes, just a day ago, we know that rapper Young M.A.'s ex-girlfriend Jade posted an old, very personal video of the rapper 2 years ago in the hospital battling liver disease. We can see her eyes are kind of slightly yellow. We can also see that she's skinnier than usual. Yes, she was in the hospital, very sick, going through it. And just because Jade and Young M.A. are no longer together, and I guess Jade feels some type of way about things that Young M.A. did to her or said to her while they were in a relationship, she decided to get really petty and post this old video of Young M.A. Now, of course, once this was posted just a day ago, everybody was giving her a lot of backlash, a lot of criticism, because they're like, how could you be this petty to do something like this to someone who was in the hospital battling several sicknesses at the time? Let's go ahead and get into what Jade had to say.
It's only y'all who follow me off a relationship that's trying to say like I'm evil, I'm nasty and all this kind of stuff. And like, I am nasty, but not in that kind of way. But yeah, the people that really know me, like they honestly know where I was coming from with it. Yeah, I don't know. If I would have knew, no, because even if I would have knew, I still wouldn't have went that route. But like I was just about to say, if I would have knew y'all was gonna take it like to the left and like make it seem like nasty, I could have made the caption like really juicy and like really, really nasty. Like I could have really did my big one when it came to the caption, but that wasn't the route I was taking it. But once again, a lot of stuff go over people's heads on the internet. And
that's her
yeah,
fault, not mine.
I really had something to say. But it's like if I turn my comments off, y'all ain't gonna be talking to me. So it's like, but one thing about it, I'm not gonna turn my comments off because I honestly don't care. I know where I was coming from when I did that post, but I'm trying to look at it from outside of my body into the next, like a third person. And I'm like, okay, it does look bad, but if you're smart and read the caption, it had nothing to do with trying to be nasty. But yeah, moral of the story is y'all can say what y'all want, y'all can come up with what y'all want. All I'm saying is if I turn my comments off, y'all won't be talking to me no more. I don't really check my DMs, so y'all still won't be talking to me. At the end of the day, you'll always be talking to yourself. I don't know you, y'all don't know me, y'all don't pay my bills, y'all don't take care of me, my child, or anybody else I take care of. I'm just trying to see how am I like really supposed to behind what somebody done to me. Like how y'all mad at me for telling my part of the story? That's a narcissist. I'm sorry, but then at the end of the day, I'm not about to sit here and keep explaining the route I was going with the video because y'all already took the route I was going to. And at the end of the day, for me to explain anything to, I don't know y'all just like y'all don't know me. I'm not here and be just making videos, just trying to keep pleading the fifth. For who? Not you. Y'all about to have me really show my, really being nice, but I can really get like that. I can. So just back up a little bit. Shouty, just hold on. I had to put myself right. That's not the route I was taking, but oh honey, and then I think me laughing and smiling don't make it better. Like I said, I laugh at everything. I'm really only laughing because I don't make videos because I just feel like I'm talking to myself because nobody else is talking back. So I'm just sitting here making videos for I don't know.
So you guys can see along with the first video she posted, and she said, you can't just do genuine people any kind of way. I could have used her, but I didn't. Okay. Now, the crazy thing to me is that she didn't really give much of her story, which, guys, she did say that she's about to make some TikTok videos explaining her part of the story. It just seems like everybody is trying to be a TikTok star. Okay. Because Gorgeous Doll with the whole Future thing. I don't know if you guys already know, but Future's first.
Okay, I don't care about that. Okay, first of all, can I say something? Let me take this down. Let me stop sharing. Well, I do want to share one last thing. Just let me share Young MA's reaction to that little ghetto ass.
We don't even know what the fuck she was talking about.
What the fuck was she saying in a fuck? And why does she keep doing? I cannot stand that. Is like one of my pet peeves. That ghetto smacking your teeth shit.
And then you wasn't saying nothing. It's one thing if you were saying something because you could do that. You could do the clap. Wooty wooty woo. Do what the fuck you want to do.
This thing said the
have something to say. You sat there and then didn't say shit. What the fuck did she post the video for?
Right. That was fucked up. Well, somebody said, well, they, suppose it really, at the end of the day, it's 2 years after the fact that you dropped this video that she was in the hospital and had liver disease. And just so you guys know, that's what I was diagnosed with, and I was in the hospital, and that's why it'll be 6 months sober next week or next month on the 7th. Okay. All right. Wait, but that's why the whole story really touches me because of that. That's part of it too. But her being in the hospital and really sick for real, and catapulting her into this. There we go, catapult.
No, that's a good one.
Give it to me. Give it to me. Give me my flowers, goddammit. You make me so sick. Okay, now look. This is her response, and then I'm gonna stop sharing. Look.
Storm, you speaking facts. You speaking so many facts. Ugh.
Wait, let me show you this. Am I not sharing anymore? Oh,
no, you're not sharing a new video.
Well, how do I do it? Here we go. Wait, I had to wait. Now, can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I had to click. I'm fumbling around and shit. Wait. How do I start this over? Let me see.
Do you have a mouse pad?
Do you hear me slapping it? Shut up. Let me figure this out. I want you to see this from the beginning. Okay, here we go. I figured it out. Now shut up. Here I go.
We want to see it too.
Oh, did I stop sharing? Okay, here we go. Present, share screen. And then I'm going to share the right one. This one here. Share. Okay, here we go. Look.
Yo, what up, Mob? I mean, I know y'all see this video going around on the blogs or whatever the case. Somebody I, once upon a time was with, posted me in the hospital at a vulnerable moment. something that I've owned already. It's been 2 years. That was 2 years ago. You know what I mean? I had an unfortunate situation in my life, and I got sick. I got really sick. Understand? It's not really too much to say on it. It's something I already spoke about. You feel me? I got a whole music video talking about it. Something I express in my music often. You know what I mean? I'm a human. We go through things. We make mistakes. You feel me? I just didn't expect this person to do that. But you know, it is what it is. I don't even know what to say. All I can do is let God handle it. You feel me? All I can do is let God handle it. That's just been always my phrase moving forward. Just moving with God, man. I just feel like that was just so foul though. You feel me? Like that's just foul. I don't even know how a person can have the urge or willing to want to even do something like that. That just speaks a lot. And I just never knew this was her character. You feel me? Like just never knew. But you know, people be people sometimes and you just never know. And it is what it is. But this is something I've owned. Like I'm not ashamed of this. This is real. You know what I'm saying? I went through a time in my life that I was real dark. But I'm good now. I'm very healthy. And my supporters know that. Big mob shit. You already know what it is, man. Open Scars on YouTube. And I'm dropping that link. I ain't ashamed of nothing. It says a lot about this person's character, man. That's all I'm going to say, man. Reap what you sow.
Now watch this. Now you saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to play this. I'm going to play the Open Scars video with the lyrics. And then I'm gonna end it right there with it, and I want to talk about it. Okay, the full circle, what everything we just saw about Young M.A. You don't like my mouse pad?
No, not at all. I don't.
This nigga said, not at all. I don't. This nigga right here, I can't.
It's terrible.
I know. Just hang in there.
Yeah.
There's more to deal. There's more things that are important. Okay. Here it is with the with the lyrics. Can you see it? Oh, no, here we go. Look at the words, y'all.
Tia, this your shit. Come to the front.
No love lost, it was never love. I lost sight, found God, I'm more better love. I ain't never went soft, I'm forever thug. Yeah. And you ain't God, so you can never judge. I had guys I called brothers, leave me in the storm. That's why my heart's still cold even when it's warm. All of a sudden they forget like I ain't put them on. And never had to owe me shit, I did it off the arm. Still fighting demons, ducking bullets, pulling thorns. It's funny how they still sleep like I ain't blowing horns. This female look like a male, like it's something wrong. Now I still suck my dick, bitch, nothing's wrong. This whole industry is rigged, I don't need awards. I done things never did and still don't get applause. Like I ain't got W's across the fucking board. And my mom became the GOAT when I was fucking born. 04, 03, 92. And I'm only 5'7", but my gun is 5'2". It's red life till I die, but my jury sky blue. I don't need material shit, my aura can shine too. Big motion, punching the clock till my time's due. And anything making me wealthy, I'm doing it times two. Big healthy, no liquor, just water and lime juice. Some more drugs, something I put my spirit and mind to.
I feel like something's always missing. No matter how much I do, how much I succeed, I always just feel like it's never 100%. That's what makes me have that bittersweet feeling. You know what I mean? Like this is where I first experienced what death really is.
A part of you died with your brother.
Right. Basically.
For the past 3 years, I let my fans down. I lost faith and I couldn't understand how. I had to go and free my mind and let my head down. Without the Henny, I see everything clear now. It's something about the industry, it feel weird now. It's like the music ain't music. It ain't hitting like, you don't feel it like. It's like they don't care now. It's just something for you to hear now. It's like the world shifted, too much confusion. And when I lost the passion for music is when my world ended. I was distracted by trauma, all of the trauma from girlfriends to my mama fucking my mind up. to hurting my health and seeing doctors. Down to about 4, 5, 6 friends on the roster.
Come on.
It's funny when you lit, it's a whole lineup. But this is part of the game. I took the pen and I signed up. Broke up with depression, let go my anxiety. Turn my back on the devil and neglect the society. Facing reality, accepting the pain inside of me. No more judging my honesty. No more judging my honesty. Recovery on velocity. The liquor wasn't hiding my pain, it was hiding me. Looking at life like, why would you lie to me? Like, why would you lie to me? Spirit cracked, heart broke, my love was on modesty. Decay in my quality, decreasing my quantity. Catching up to my truth, finally meeting my prophecy. I swear to God, life was kicking my ass. May seem like I had it good, but mentally it was bad. Just to get my brother back, I'll give up all of this cash. And I'll buy a flight just to take a trip to the past. Trust issues won't change, that's just something I have. I keep a lawnmower just to see the snakes in the grass. And I build a fence just to keep the snakes in the grass. And I keep a hawk just to eat the snakes in the grass. Down on my deathbed, but God healing me fast. He got other plans for me, this is part of the task. Smiling was a disguise, it was tears under that mask. Suffocating inside for years under that mask. No regrets, cause when I lost love, I found peace. When I finally dug deep, nigga, I found the beast. Since 2020, I was losing, I was down 3. I locked in, finished the album in 9 weeks. The streets hungry, as soon as I'm cooking, the town eats. Only my niggas at the table, cause they found seats. He'll first find peace, find keys, mind free. First step, find God. Next step, find me.
Woo, that shit hit, bro.
You know, and it puts a whole different perspective when you see the actual lyrics.
Yeah.
And you're reading it along with what she's saying, man.
Yeah.
She put her heart in that. She put her heart and soul in that, and you got to respect that.
Yeah.
You got to respect that. As a matter of fact, we're up against the hour. We're going to take a brief intermission, and then when we get back, we want to actually kind of get into some of the reactions as it relates to this, and then kind of what your thoughts were. And because I know you had something that you really wanted to share as it relates to her journey and the storyline, and whether it's the friendships or whatever the case may be. So, but I think we'll be perfect, man. Let's take a quick break. We'll get right back to that. We got a lot to say on this subject.
Yo, and I'm gonna play this next selection here, and we'll be right back. It's called Softly. Okay, by Sweetback. Just like that, we're back on the mic, back where it's at, cause we at where it's at, cause you know we got backs, big back. Where you at?
You're gonna have to speak for yourself on that one.
Big back, step up to the plate. Hi, Rooster.
My back is shrinking.
Big. Hi, everybody. We're back.
Man, we're back, man. Thank y'all for sliding. Thank y'all for being here. This is the second half of the show, and we just watched a video on Young M.A. and talking about her story, some of the challenges that she experienced, some of the opposition that she also experienced, along with the health issues. And so we're going to weigh in a little bit on that and bring some everyday life principle to the table, if you will, because there's a lot of things in this story that we can take from it to position ourselves in a way as to lend to greater levels of success in love, success in friendship, success in relationships, business, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Circumference. That is the key. What's in my circumference? And how do I not only just tend to it, but how do I foster the type of environment that's effective for the type of growth that I am looking to have? So
that was too deep.
No, but it's real though, because I mean this is what I see in her story when I'm listening to her story, and I hear so many things that are coming out of it, and these things lend to our everyday experience, which is the beauty of us being able to share our journey, right? Mm-hmm. Share our triumphs, share our struggles. There's a series that I'm going to do on YouTube or one of these, most likely YouTube, but where I'm going to interview people, and the topic of this one is going to be called "Teach Me How to Fail." And there's a idea behind that, and there's a it's a play on words, but I think it's going to be very, very effective in communicating a certain type of message. And I think
Mm,
this is what people need, though, is we need to know the things that people around us or people that we may never have known, like what were your struggles? Because the one thing about depression, the one thing I can say that's consistent is you feel like it's only you and that nobody is feeling what you're feeling.
mhm,
Crazy part about that is that it's actually far more common, and majority of us, if not all, go through these types of moments.
mhm,
So giving the light, helping people to see that there is hope at the end of that tunnel, et cetera, et cetera. So Young and May, her story was real. It was real, layered, and I want to hear so much more from her though.
mhm.
I so
Yeah,
do.
when her album drops, I'm gonna be on it because that's where she talks the most. When she has something to say. Because it's easy for her to talk that way. She doesn't even like to text. She did an interview once where she talked about how she can't stand texting because it's hard for her to communicate.
Mm,
In that way.
mhm,
But you know, when you're talking about like your people's stories or whatever. So for me, when me getting sick and having to go into the hospital was the moment that I pretty much was praying for. Uh and I wanted God to heal me without me in a way where I didn't fall completely apart. That was my prayer.
mhm,
That was my prayer. I didn't know what that was going to look like. I didn't know when it would come. I didn't believe I was ready. I didn't know this was the time. But in that moment when I was like, I need to go to the hospital, that in that moment, all my fears and worries of what it would look like, or what to expect, or always having to have things planned out and research everything, and I'm gonna do A, B, C, D. All that shit was out the window in that moment, right? So no matter what my husband would tell me or whatever I felt was going on with my body or whatever, I just was like, it's all good, right? I got this. It's not a big deal, whatever. So, but I just, you know, it was crazy because I wanted to hide so bad, you know?
mhm, mhm. Speak on that.
God, this sucks. um, yeah. And I think what makes me emotional is because, I know people in my life now who I love, who are where I was. And the truth is that and it doesn't matter what it is, right? I'm not above anybody, nothing like that. It doesn't matter because we all still have our struggles. But unless somebody's ready for
Mm,
real, it's nothing you could do about it but pray for them, or hold them up, lift them up, or be there for them when they are ready, right? Um, and it's so crazy because I lived this life for such a long time and nobody knew.
mhm,
Once I went into the hospital, that's when people knew. My husband knew. He still didn't know everything. But so many people live in that dark space. And you just don't know how to climb out of it, if that makes sense. And you don't want to tell anybody. Let me speak for myself. I didn't want to tell anybody because I was embarrassed. And even though, my father was an alcoholic and an addict, a functional addict. I don't know. It's just a lot to it. At the end of the day, when I went down, you were there, Truth was there, my husband was there, my son was there, and that's all. And it took me, I had to tell my son. I didn't want to tell him because I was so embarrassed, And so many people, when you're the strength for others, it's hard to admit that I'm not strong. And it's like I'm not strong enough for me. So I can't really be strong for you. And even when I felt like I wasn't at my best and I was down to my lowest that I've ever been, there was still nobody ever made me feel less than. I mean, I had so much support, even the doctors in the hospital, when they would come and talk to you and tell you your life is basically on the edge, like this is it. You either gonna straighten up or we can't tell you. We don't know what's gonna happen, right? But even they were like, damn, you have a lot of, they didn't say damn, but like you have a lot of support. And I was so grateful in that moment for how much support I have and still have. And so when I look at not just this young MA, I get it, but a lot of people have the same story and everybody's journey looks different. And it's not easy. It's not easy to break free from that shit. And that's why even in the moments when people would say, oh, you can, it's okay, you can still drink every now and then, or just have a drink. It's not going to, just one is not going to be a big deal. It's like, yes, it is. For me, it is. And that's the thing. You have to know what you can and can't do. And I'm going to tell you this also. I don't judge anybody for what they do because I didn't want nobody judging me. I don't give a damn what anybody does. I do what's best for me, right? I still have so much shit to work on, but when you are trapped and addicted to something, the way I was addicted to alcohol, it's fucked up because my entire day from the moment I woke up to when I went to bed was about my next drink. I kept liquor next to the bed. I drank when I woke up. That was my coffee. I drank while I got dressed for work. I drank on my way to work or when I was walking to the desk. I constantly had my drink and water. But the one I went to all day was the drink. And this is just over. I did this for a very long time and I just battered my body to the point where I wasn't eating. And that's what sent me to the hospital. I hadn't eaten in like 3 or 4 days. And I was so weak and so scared, and it's like, but I just have never felt so not in control. I've always been in control. I control my environment. I'm strong. I've had people tell me my entire life how strong I am. Even when I was sick in the hospital, nurses would be like, damn, you're stronger. We know you could do it because your personality, and that was one of the things that I was so afraid of, that my personality would change. and I wouldn't be fun anymore. I'm not going to be able to go out. I'm not going to be able to club. I'm not going to be able to do my podcast. I'm not going to be able to do my Fortnite over 40. I'm not going to be entertaining anymore. Like I felt like that me drinking was who I was. It made up who I was. It made up what people liked about me. And that's not true. It's just not true. That was the lie I told myself to justify having the next drink. I literally could not stop. The local Walgreens, they knew me. I went in there when they opened up in the morning. I was drinking 2.5 gallons a week by the time I was hospitalized. 2.5 gallons. Gallons of vodka.
Mm.
And I still have to go get I have an appointment with my GI because of the liver disease, right? That I have to go get my test done, and because I've damaged it so much, it's not something I can't come back from. And I believe my results, I believe they're going to be favorable. I don't, whatever. But there's people in my life now that I love that, are having their own struggles. But, you know, when I hear young MA and these rappers and superstars and stuff, when they come out of addiction, I think about how hard it has to be for them too, because the industry, it makes that okay. It promotes it. So it's like for you to still be in the industry and be sober, that's got to be 10 times harder for me. I haven't been to a club yet or a bar yet since I've been to like a Chili's, I think. Me, Truth, and my son went to fucking Buffalo Wild Wings. That was the first time I stepped in. This is a little while ago. And I purposely didn't want to sit in the bar area. I just didn't believe I was strong enough yet. But I probably am at this point. And my husband recently, he wants to go to this 90s R&B old school little activity. And I haven't been, but I haven't been to a club yet since I've been sober. And these are the things that I'm afraid of. But my son told me, he was like, "Mom, don't do anything if you don't feel strong enough. There's no pressure for you to do anything until you feel strong enough." And I know how bad I want sobriety, so I feel like I'm strong enough, but it's just the way it holds keeps you like in this, it binds you in this fear. Like I literally could not stop. Like I wanted a drink. I needed it. I felt like I needed it when I woke up. I drank till I went to bed. I was drinking and driving. I mean, you name it, I did it on liquor, on alcohol. So when I hear her story, it's just, and so I mean that's my story, and it's just it took me a while to even share it, and nobody knew I was going through it, and but I'm better now, and I'm happy about it. I feel like I can, I'm okay. I don't know. It's the best way I can explain it. It's fucked up.
Well, you sharing that, and for anybody who's dealing with anything even closely related, it is not an easy process to go through, to overcome any of the type of addiction in itself. But watching you go through it, because I'm close to you, not only has been a blessing for me, but I would say that it's also a great reminder, because no different than the story I shared earlier about my nephew. I'm close, but then I don't even know. Like, I didn't know you were going through all of that at that time. And as many times that we talk, especially in this season of our life, man, it was just like, wow. And I'm gonna tell you, when you first mentioned it, at first I thought you were playing, and initially, but you were so sincere about what you were saying, and I said, well, damn, like, how could we miss that? How could I not have known to be a support and maybe to prevent it? But it was something you said earlier that I think was so important, which is that people have to have their own breaking point, and you got to get to that space where you no longer make the excuses for yourself. And that's not anything that anybody else can do on the outside other than not hold you captive to yesterday. And that's no different than what we just saw happen with the young MA, where someone that was close, walking with her during her journey and her challenges, and then takes the first opportunity to hold her captive to yesterday.
Right.
And, knowing that, as you said, like, the people in your circle never did that, and never even acted as if you were less than in any way. And I think that's powerful. And I think that speaks to the importance of the people that you have in your village. And if you don't feel that level of confidence about the people that's in your circumference, I think it would be wise to work to change that, because we need that reinforcement that's around us, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I think about the people who don't have that. I mean, gosh, I'm so grateful for it, because whether people mean to do it or not, when some people don't know how to support somebody going through it, or their sobriety. They still love you, but they don't really know how to support it, and I think that's why a lot of relationships don't work after somebody gets sober. That was one of my husband's fears. On If I'm, being frank without telling any of his business, I mean, we're obviously married, and he definitely wanted the best for me. He's one of the reasons I went into the hospital. But after our conversation, one of his fears was that I would get sober and leave, right? And that was hard for him to admit. And it's probably scary for a lot of people that love people with an addiction, because that is true, and I can see why it could happen now that I'm sober, right? But that doesn't have to be the reality. So I think everybody's journey is specific to them, and as much as people wanted me to just do AA or something similar to it, I would say I'm going to do it, but I wasn't feeling it, and I had to know that that's okay. That's not for everybody. It's just not for me, but again, I have a supportive support group, family, friends around me. So I mean, that might be why, but I just think, to Tia's answer, I had weight loss surgery in 2014, and they do say that after you have that type of surgery, it is statistically a fact that people turn to alcohol.
Really?
Yeah, the alcohol, also they lose their sex drive. There's some other statistics that happen after weight loss surgery. And I'm going to say yes to that question, Tia. Was I drinking before that? Yes. So I consider myself, I think I've been alcoholic at least 20 years, but it got worse. I didn't drink when it was like after I had my son. My son's 27.
Mm-hmm.
But after the surgery and I started losing the weight, the addiction, at the end of the day, the addiction is the issue. I've
Mm-hmm.
been addicted to a lot of things. I mean, behaviors and whether it was food.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling Dynamicist before that I would pop Excedrin like back in the day, like just for kicks. Not because I had a headache, but it had a lot of caffeine in it. So me and my homegirl would pop like 4 or 5 at a time and just be like tweaking off of fucking Excedrin. Okay? Like who the fuck does that? Me and my white friend I met.
There it
I'm
goes.
like, come
I
on,
knew,
Whitey, here we go popping
I
pills.
knew it sounded like it was in there somewhere.
Yeah. me and her would pop this and she introduced me to that shit. Then it was diet pills. I was popping them motherfuckers, tweaking, right? And I think all of this played a part. And then there was the alcohol, and I was, and then I think about, damn, did I fuck up my son or anything? I start thinking all kind of shit. And by the grace of God, no. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, but I was partying and I was doing all kind of shit. So yeah, I think the weight loss surgery got worse because I think I transferred the food addiction to the alcohol. I mean, you guys, as ridiculous as it sounds, I was addicted to sunflower seeds. It was so bad. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's the truth. My sunflower seed addiction was so bad that once again at the store, they knew who I was, and I would call up because I had a favorite flavor. I would call up to the store and I would go in there so often, I would ask them to put my favorite aside, like bags of it. And I would just go buy a grip of it at one time. Like, it's like I don't have an off switch. I mean, it's
When you mentioned that, I remember this. I remember something like that when we were younger, because I remember we used to walk to that that corner store.
Yeah.
When we were
What was
younger.
the name of it on the corner on
Cannot remember the
Boston
name of it,
and
but
60th?
we used to go up there, and I remember there were two things you used to get regularly, and it would be those pickles and hot Cheetos when they first came out. And I remember you used
Oh,
to have bags of them motherfuckers. Like, you used to get the big bags too and be fading them bitches back in the day. But I mentioned that only for this reason. My mama used to say this, and this came by way of my dad used to tell me that she used to tell him that. And you knew my mama better than I did because I didn't really know her too well. But or was it my mommy or mama? But one of them two used to say that every tub has to sit on its own bottom, was one of her sayings. And then there was another one, which is, and my dad used to say, is that every man has to know his limitations. Scripturally, it says, in all that getting, get understanding. In the Egyptian text, it says, know thyself, right? I think what the message in all of this is we have to be willing to tell ourselves the truth, if nothing else, because the only person that we lie to is ourselves. And actually, it's interesting enough, is like any lie that we tell, we first tell it to ourselves to see, is that shit believable? Right. And then we go on to creating whatever narrative. But I think that's so important because, to your point, knowing my dad's struggles, my family's lineage, like I have been on record saying that I have an addictive personality. So there are certain things I'm just not willing to play or roll the dice on.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, yes, could I potentially feel good snorting a line of cocaine? Possibly. Might it be fun for the moment? Maybe. But could that motherfucker jump on me and ride me to the
Right.
ride a nigga like Sundance?
All of a sudden you'd be thin. We'd be like, damn, was that from the Spartan race?
Listen, and I already know
Right.
because I know that addiction, which is why you tend to see me with this whole vape thing, because that motherfucker would be riding my ass. And I'm already knowing it's like it's too easy for me to lock in on something that's pleasurable for whatever reason, right? To lock in on it to the point where it now consumes my life. Like I want to say last night I woke up at like 3 something and I grabbed my vape. What the fuck am I doing up at 3 in the morning, number one? And number two, why would that be the first thing I reach for? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but breaking any type of addiction, you've got to be willing to be honest with yourself as to what it is that you're experiencing, and then examining the result, the effects of this type of behavior. And then even moving forward, right? Like how you said, you kind of, well, I think it was Tia alluded to it. It's like we trade addiction sometimes, right? And in our journeys, and we do this even when it comes to heartbreak, and we find these voids and we fill them. And sometimes people become those voids. So can I be addicted to having people or having something in a space in my life? Absolutely. I can become addicted, and I could call that love. I could call that infatuation. But in all honesty, what it is that I am mostly afraid of being alone. Therefore, I am finding whatever I can to fill that void.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's people, and other times it could be cats and shit. Who knows? But
Right.
I know for a fact that people sometimes are, if you will, like that collateral damage. But and she's already at 6 months. So
I will be on the 7th.
of April.
Tia, you so sweet. Yeah. April 7th. Oh, yeah. There you go. There you go.
We in there.
Round of applause. You cut
Yeah,
that
we gonna
out.
celebrate. No, we gotta celebrate. And that's why I was saying earlier, you know, it's like, look, your journey becomes my journey.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter what it looks like, you know. That's not an issue to not do because of for the sake of another individual, or to even focus on or bring a highlighted attention to it. Yes, we have our lane to run, but at the same time, I think that's compassion. I think it's empathy. I think it's when you understand and you've seen yourself struggle, and you've seen yourself have to fight or dig out of a hole at whatever point, you realize, man, the type of grit it takes to do it. And it's transformative, but it does not come easy.
Mm-hmm.
It does not come easy.
And it doesn't matter what the addiction is. And again, like we laugh because I do that snacking shit when I'm playing the game and all that. I used to not snack at all. You know what I'm saying? I didn't snack. I didn't do that. But since I stopped drinking, I snack. Now that's better than having a drink, yes. But I also have to be aware of it. You know what I'm saying? The hell, crickets? Wait. Thank you, Tia.
Truth. Did this nigga just say she didn't snack?
What?
Truth.
What'd I say? I said I do snack.
No, you said you didn't snack before.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, not like now. Now I just stack it. I'm not even hungry. I'm just eating. I'm scared. That's why I be on that treadmill. I don't want to gain weight back. But anyway, you know, I don't know. I'm just glad to be where I'm at.
No, you snacked in.
You snack. Look at True. Nigga, damn, I can't. A lie don't care who tell it, though.
Don't care who tell it.
Taco Bell Mexican pizza. Wait, this is going left. Let me have my moment. Damn, let me take y'all off the screen. Anyway, anybody else got something to say? You're not getting your comment flashed. Wait, let me just see this last one.
There you go.
Anyway, yeah, but I love y'all. I love every last one of y'all. And hey, it is what it is. I'm just glad to be in this space, and I just don't want to go back to it. And like you said, when Young Miami's ex-girlfriend, brought, trying to bring up old shit, that's not cool. It's just not cool. But that comes back to my thing about, knowing who your true friends are and friendships and how important they are. And do we use that term too loosely?
Yes.
What do you think? I mean,
I believe we do. And I believe that we mix up what the quality of what certain words should mean. Just like the term love and stuff like that. We use these words casually. Right now online, a lot of people are saying I'm dead, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And
yeah.
obviously I understand what they're saying in context, but the reality is that there are certain things, like nothing is sacred any longer. Did you know that in most other cultures outside of and I call this though, I refer to English as the fork tongue language. That's how I refer to it. Because, and what that means is that this is one of the only languages to where you can say one thing and mean something totally different. So there's this level of deception that's wired into this language, and to deceive and et cetera people and throw them off the trail. It's interesting to note though is that when you read like from other languages and things like that, and one of those that stood out to me was like like Japanese, how there aren't a lot of ways to say certain things. Like there's one universal way to say X, Y, and Z. And that's the accepted standard for it. So when you say that, there's no misunderstandings there. What I mean by, and why this relates to what we're talking about, is the idea that a lot of times we'll use these words very casually, like friends, besties, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the unfortunate thing is that psychologically what we're doing is we're causing more damage than we're doing good. And let me tell you why.
By using these words loosely?
By using a lot of these terms and loosely, because what happens is it begins to lose significance.
Okay.
Because when you lump a lot of people into a certain type of category, and it helps with filing. So that's what I believe, like psychologically, is that we're using it as a filing system. But what you're ultimately doing is it's harder for you to now decipher between who deserves what level of access to you in your story. When Young M.A. was talking and she was responding to the video, and remember the lady says in the video, "Oh, I can be a certain kind of way. I wasn't doing that here, but I can be that." And she had this smirk or this.
Oh, the ex. When the ex said that,
when she was talking, and she had this smirk, and it's kind of like kind of like that whole, I can, y'all don't want to see the beast type shit, right, or whatever the case may be. Well,
yeah.
When Young M.A. was talking, she was talking about, man, how it really speaks to her character. And she said something that caught my attention. She says, "I didn't know."
Yes, that caught me too.
And that caught me because what that says, though, is a lot of things that says. But it's likely that during her during her addiction, right, those layers were it was skewered, right? Her vision was skewered.
Mm-hmm.
And when I go back and I think about myself and I think about certain things, and you've asked me questions about situations I've been in, and you said one time, you said, well, did you see the flag? And I'm saying, well, no. And you said, well, or maybe did you see it, but you just ignored the flag? And I think a lot of times we do, right? We have this bias sometimes because we want to see people in the way in which they most benefit us,
Right.
rather than seeing them for who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you look at what we see, like even politically, right? People say, oh, well, I voted this way for this reason, but you ignored the shit that was sitting right in our face, right? We ignored that because what I'm hoping is that this person would benefit me at the end of the day and would benefit my bottom line, rather than accepting a person for who they are. And I love what Maya Angelou said when she said, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. And I don't think we take that as seriously as we should, because I can tell you through every last example or scenario that I've been in and been through, I fucking ignored the fucking flags. I ignored them motherfuckers, and I seen them. One time I was drinking a lot during one of them, and that was the only time. What was really fucked up is I had a relationship one time where when we were sober, we didn't know how to talk to each other. We didn't have, there weren't very many points of relativity. There weren't, as a matter of fact, I remember saying, like, I wouldn't even have been with this person. I wouldn't even have been a friend with them if I were sober. Like, we wouldn't even have been friends, let alone lovers, let alone all this other shit, right? But we wouldn't even have got that far. And so some of these things can cloud our vision to such a degree that we're just blinded. We're blinded by what we want people to be rather than who they actually are.
Right.
Man. Yeah, they it's relationships. Because this goes much further than just wives and shit. Which I know you were saying that tongue in cheekly, but I might have to agree.
Right.
Now that you mentioned it like that,
Well, they're part of relationship. They're part of relationship.
Maybe. Yeah. In some cases,
So we see what we want, what fits our narrative.
Yeah.
We see what fits our narrative.
We see what fits it, and that's the part that we focus in. But let me see. I actually want to share a video.
Okay.
Because it speaks to what we were talking about, and man, it's so many pieces to this story that I just, man, it's such a rich one, because we are relational by nature. Like, our species is relational, period. So it doesn't matter what you call it or what you think about it. Like, you are striving for relationship and connection.
And you know what? While you look that up, let me share something my friend told me today. Okay. I asked probably 3 of my friends this question. They don't watch the podcast or anything, just 3 of my girlfriends. And I said, well, I asked 2 questions. The first one we're not talking about tonight, but I just wanted to know, but I'll share the question, but I won't go into the answer because that's not our topic, but I think it's funny. I said, I have a question. I have 2 questions. I said, do you think it's okay for any reason to hide money from your mate? Okay, that was one of my questions. I think I just wanted to know. But the question for tonight, I asked my friends, I said, how important is it to have friends? And do you think we use the word too loosely? So, um, her answer about the friends was, it's important to have friends because we need people in life that support us and to experience life with us. Yes, the word friend can be used too loosely by most, but there's levels. Like a friend could be someone I just met and I'm vibing with. And then there's true friends, like lifelong friends. Um, and then okay, I won't say that part. And then my other friend
I want to know
said,
what this is.
What'd you say?
I said, I want to know what it says.
No, that was for the first question. But then my other friend says, okay, no, that one doesn't matter. Then my other friend said, another friend, she said, I think it's important to have friends, and hell yeah, the word is used too loosely. I'm teaching this to she's talking about her daughter. You don't need many friends, just a few really good ones.
Shit. Listen. I am now a believer in that. I wasn't before. I didn't know. I used to think that I was somewhat impoverished because I didn't have a large group of friends. But I can honestly say that when I look at the people that's in my life now, like there's some quality motherfuckers like all the way around. And it's a privilege to be friends with them and to have them in my circle or to consider them a part of my circle. And I can't say that was always the case. And from, you know, at my weakest points, and you said something when you were talking about your sobriety journey that resonated with me because that was one of the things that I said as well about them was that they never made me feel any less than who I am, even though I was vulnerable and yeah, and vulnerable and what's a good word for this? It's not frail, but I was
I can't help you.
yeah. I'm not expecting that.
You know what?
You gotta know your audience.
Have at it. Have at it.
Truth might be able to tell me that.
But you right. That's not my ministry. It's okay.
No, it's not. So
I might just try. What was you gonna say?
You said we were doing a podcast one time. You said, what word you was talking about? And then you went through 17 words. And it was like, no, not that. No, that's not even related to
But I was going for it, wasn't I?
said, and the vernacular colostropated.
Wait, I was giving it to you though. Go ahead.
But yeah, no, and that in itself, it's so freeing when you have people around you that are willing to do that and just willing and can just see you separate you from the circumstance because you are not the circumstance. And I think that's a very important distinction, right? So having people around you that are willing and capable of doing that, it just is such a breath of fresh wind.
Willing, yeah.
Let me share something really quick.
Okay.
And yeah, and it's you really don't need a huge circle. To your point, Tia, you really don't. And I know you see a lot of people looking for followers and stuff like that online, and people feeling like that means something. But I've heard multiple influencers talk about when they went through their shit, none of them people were there for them when they went through or they hit that rough patch or whatever the case may be. And it's really rather unfortunate if you really believe that all these people around you already have your best interest. And to that point, there's so many different examples of that when you're in industries like that or whatever it is, to where you have these faux relationships around you and they smile at you and they smile around you and they tell you what you want to hear, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
But when the shit really matters, they're nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. But here, let me share this real quick because I love this. I love listening to this person talk about their story, and I
Mhm.
have so much to share and so much to say.
Okay.
Um, let's go. I'm gonna share screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, bet.
And what I learned very early on was like the value of good friendships, and I learned because of my mom. I went home one day and my mom was beaming. I walked in with my cousin and my mom was like, "Oh, how are you, Buddhi?" And she's so happy. And she's like, "Oh, nice to see you." And she said, "Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you guys are spending this time together." And I said, "Why are you so happy?" And my mom said, "Because you spend all your time at the university." And I said to my mom, I was like, "Mom, I don't go to university. I just hang around and I do nothing." And she said, "Yes, but the people you're hanging around and doing nothing with will inspire you to do more with your life because they're doing something with it." And I was like, "What?" And she said to me, she was like, "You cannot be around people who are moving and not wish to move. Whether we like it or not, the people around us are affecting how we see ourselves and how we wish to be seen."
Man,
Play that again.
yeah.
And what I learned very early on was like the value of good friendships, and I learned because of my mom. I went home one day and my mom was beaming. I walked in with my cousin and my mom was like, "Oh, how are you, Buddhi?" And she's so happy. And she's like, "Oh, nice to see you." And she said, "Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you guys are spending this time together." And I said, "Why are you so happy?" And my mom said, "Because you spend all your time at the university." And I said to my mom, I was like, "Mom, I don't go to university. I just hang around and I do nothing." And she said, "Yes, but the people you're hanging around and doing nothing with will inspire you to do more with your life because they're doing something with it." And I was like, "What?" And she said to me, she was like, "You cannot be around people who are moving and not wish to move. Whether we like it or not, the people around us are affecting how we see ourselves and how we wish to be seen."
Man,
Mm-hmm.
when he shared that, and I saw that interview, and it was really impactful because I just enjoy listening to Trevor Noah, period, because he's very introspective and he's willing to see things from a variety of different angles. And you can actually get into real discourse with that type of individual. But when you think about that, and it really brings to mind something that was told to me, is that the three types of people that you need in your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember praying specifically to change certain dynamics, because what I realized is that I could go no further than the circumference of the people that I had around me because of this same concept. And it was the three types was, you need those people that are beneath you, and those are the people that you pour into to help build them up. And they were saying how you need the people that's on the same level with you, because those are the people that you shoulder to shoulder with, and you work through shit with.
Mm-hmm.
And then but then he said you also need those people who are above you, because those are the people who you aspire and they inspire you. And looking at that, and I started to take inventory at some point in my journey, and I realized that I didn't have enough people that I was inspired by. I had people that were on the same level with me, and I had people around that I poured into, but who was actually pouring into me?
Mm-hmm.
And the pouring into is they're above me in whatever area or aspect of their existence. And it's something that they've acquired something, they've achieved something, they're achieving something, they're exhibiting something that I clearly see as an area of opportunity for me.
Yeah.
And I know, like, oh yeah, I love their discipline. I love how driven they are about whatever it is. I'm passionate.
And
And
can I
so,
say something to that?
mhm,
It is, and when you say that, I think it's important for us to also check our ego,
mhm,
because a lot of times people, if you allow your ego to take over, uh you'll block that blessing.
come on, speak on it.
Because you know, for you, you know, even when you were speaking and you're doing this with the levels, and you're in the way you said it was people that I could pour into, you know, I could choose to look at that like, yo, you think you're better than, or I ain't nobody above me, you know, and all
Mhm,
this and that. So if that's what you're thinking, whoever this is, right? Let that go, because it's okay for people to be vibing on a different level than you, you know, who has they're on a different point in their life where they're, you know, there's somebody you can look up to. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having people around you that are doing better than you. Yeah,
mhm,
I think that's a blessing. That's a good thing that they even want to fuck with you. You need to be happy that they even feel like they want to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? Because they could be like, nigga, nope, you ain't gonna bring my shit down. You know what I'm saying? You fucking up my credit score just hanging out with your ass. You know, but if it's something that I can learn from you, because we all can learn. I don't care who you
yes,
are, Oprah. I don't give a damn. We can all learn. And you have to be open to that. And when you're around people who, in some area of their life, they're thriving, or they're doing something that maybe you want to do, or that you're looking to do, or maybe you can't see yourself doing it now, but maybe later you could. I don't know. But we have to be open to that. And I think a lot of us block our blessing with the ego and not wanting
mhm.
to allow it, you know?
Yes,
We
yes,
can't do
man.
that.
Listen, you said a whole word right there, because that ego piece is really destructive. It's really destructive. I have
Mhm.
a mentor now, and I just admire this lady and for what she does and how she goes about doing shit. And I remember one day I was driving and I'm praying and I'm saying, I'm like, God, man, I really I need this level, right? I need somebody who I can kind of observe what's happening, learn from them, and acquire what I need in order for me to go to this next level. And I
Mhm.
realize that because I'm the type of learner that works for my learning style. I'm not a book learner type shit. I need to interact with the information. So you can't just give me a book and say, okay, go at it. I need to be able to not only understand what I'm reading, but then visualize how it's applied.
Mhm.
So knowing that about myself, I know that with examples, I love examples and I can derive a lot from that. So in my prayer, I'm specifically targeting the type of things that I know work for me. Like I know that I know that I know this works. And no sooner than I completed that, I finished that train of thought, this individual popped into my head. And what comes along with that is and you know, it's interesting enough is that she's very competitive, so she'll tease me about different shit or whatever the case may be. But I'm very mindful to not allow ego to affect or infect the dynamic that's being fostered,
Mhm.
because I know what I'm ultimately what I need, and I know what my prayer is, and I know that this particular individual is in my life for a very specific reason. And
Mhm.
obviously it's a mutual, like, I have things that I share, and there's things that that she can gain, that I can gain from her. But more importantly, I think, speaking to that ego piece, absolutely. you know um and I find that surfaces quite often, quite
Mhm.
often. And yes, tactile, I am tactile and kinesthetic. So those are my 2 type of learning styles
Now,
kinda
let's talk about that.
that go hand in hand,
Tactile, I know that means like touch.
right?
And then kinesthetic, talk to me.
So you never heard that one?
No, I feel like I've heard that. Kinesthetic. Now, do you want me to guess?
Well,
Now, let
no.
me think.
So I'm gonna go
Kinesthetic.
to, like, an official definition of it. Now, I've used those 2 words separately.
Okay.
Um, what they usually are saying is that those 2 words actually run hand in hand, because tactile and
Or
kinesthetic are,
parallel.
yeah,
Parallel.
yeah, they run together. So you learn best through physical activity, hands-on experiences, movement, rather than solely through reading or listening.
Okay.
So, with my type of learning style, and that could be because of attention deficit, it could be a lot of shit, I don't know. But I will hear something, but I will visualize it, and then I visualize myself in with close proximity to it and doing that said thing, whatever that thing is. Um, and that usually ingrains this little process in my head, and from there, I'm off to the races. So I
Mhm.
can pick up on shit quickly because of that. But then, also, I can jump ahead because I've already addressed some things, but I haven't heard the whole story, if you will, whatever. So that was just some shit that I
Mhm.
used to hear sometimes from, school and shit like that.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah. So yeah, that's kind of where it all kind of works together in that one.
Yeah.
Um, yes, they do. At least I am. I need to, like, I get, like, don't fucking give me no boring ass lecture. When I was working, um, we used to have these fucking meetings.
Couldn't
When
do
I
it.
tell you the level of disgust that I had being
Mhm.
forced to sit in these meetings, like, I was on the verge of telling these people, like, how I feel about them and how I feel about these dumbass meetings
Mhm.
where don't shit change. We're not listening.
Mhm.
So what is the point of you even doing this? Because you're going to say this today, and we're not going to give a fuck.
Mhm.
Because what they say, you can only get so much water when you're sipping from a water hose. I mean, a
Right.
fire hydrant.
Right. Right.
Right? It's fucking too much. It just is. So,
Mhm.
um, fortunately, I didn't do that, and because I think my story would be a little bit
And
different.
you were able to leave on your own terms.
Left on my own terms.
Right.
Left on my
Rather
own,
than them getting rid of you because of
yeah,
your mouth. Okay.
and being insubordinate,
Right.
churlish.
Right.
What I always say, he said churlish,
Right.
insubordinate.
Right. Mm-mm-mm. Because
Yeah.
you can't be that. That's for
Oh,
sure.
you better fucking know it. If
Mm-mm-mm.
that shit don't make sense to me, if it don't compute, it don't compute. Um, but yeah. So thank you, man. I love the fact that you shared your story. I mean, we didn't plan that, and so I just love how spirit works and got that out there. And because I can tell you, like, I learned a lot from it. And obviously people in the chat, they definitely was vibing and having their own experiences. So thank
Mm.
everybody for your participation and
Yes. Thank
sharing
you.
pieces of your own story and your vulnerability. And I'm
Mm.
telling you, I think that's the movement, man. When we know, when we know that we're not alone, and that there are others that we may admire, we may love things about them, but to know that, man, they've had similar struggles, or maybe even, oh, I've learned a way how to navigate out of that,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of puts that ego shit behind, and I'm able to receive.
That ego, boy, that ego will fucking hold you hostage. It will. It's like chain, like a ball and chain. That's a crazy thing. An
Mhm.
ego,
Yep.
man. That's a whole demon by itself. Can ego be a good thing? I don't even know at this point. It seems so self-centered.
It is. I look
Truth,
at
be quiet. Truth, don't say it. Go ahead.
I look at all these things like on a spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
and you can have no different than certain strengths that we have, and we can identify certain negative characteristics that people might have. What I've come to realize is that typically every negative characteristic,
Mm-hmm.
there's an opposite positive from the same motivation, the same impetus that brings forth this type of interaction. Let me see. What's a good example of one? A person who is um, a person who's manipulative. That typically always is viewed as a negative, right? But there's a positive side to that, and it's not called manipulative. What it is, with the type of strength that person has, is an activator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like they have this activator type of strength, which
Mm-hmm.
comes across when they're operating on the lower level of that type of strength. So the lower level spectrum usually looks like manipulation. If they're on their higher level of that particular same type of strength, just a higher level aspect,
Mm-hmm.
and they're the ones that are able to not only get people involved, but get people galvanized
Okay.
to move forward with whatever it is.
Leaders, they're like natural
They
born
can't
leaders.
they can very well be
If they're vibing right, they're
yeah,
vibrating. That's
if they're vibrating right, and there's assessments that I really stand by, and I learned this from one of these assessments, and then obviously I've added my own twist to it, but there are these aspects of our personality. And so now it's like when I see the negative aspect of said thing, I often think about, well, what is that? What's the positive? What's the positive aspect of that? Like, what's the name of that thing? And then
Mm-hmm.
I speak to that. I speak to whatever that positive aspect is, rather than solely only dealing with this negative piece, because that negative piece is going to rub me wrong every
Mm-hmm.
which way. But, we could get into that in another podcast, but it's a real science. It's something that I believe in as a lived practice, and seeing its operation and seeing how it kind of unveils or unfolds. And
Mm-hmm.
then obviously I know what my strengths are, the things that I once thought were weaknesses. Like, I'm fully aware of how that's actually a strength. And then
That
how
would be a good little what do you call activity? Like, what have you been told, or do you view as a negative trait that you have?
Mhm.
And then the activity is to spin it. And how can you spin that into something positive? What's another way to view that said negative
Yeah.
trait in a positive light? And how
Mhm.
can you apply that?
Yeah.
I never thought about that. Because
There's
we all have something that we believe is negative about us, or
yeah,
we've been told
like you're
this.
demanding, you're bossy, things like that. You have some those are
This
you're
might be
spoiled.
wait. This
Um,
might be going.
you
What
know,
happened?
let's see what
Were
else.
those just random? Were those random?
It's self-absorbed.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Okay,
The world revolves around you, and you
Oh,
alone.
this is random. These are random traits. Hello? What's going on? Hi, RJ. Oh, we've seen you before. Hello, RJ.
So, the reality is those are some dope characteristic traits. The other end of them,
Wait.
they just come off like that. But so there's a way in which you can now you can kind of swing the pendulum more towards the optimal expression of these abilities.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And it
Way to
happens
get out
across.
of that. Wait.
But I mean that sincerely.
We're
Yeah,
gonna swing the pendulum. Is that it?
we're gonna swing the pendulum. Yeah.
Pendulum. Okay. Okay. Well, it's been real. RJ, good morning to you.
Yes,
Good night to
yes.
us. I mean, hey, this is the way it goes.
And truth,
Woo.
yes, there is a such thing as healthy ego. Absolutely, there is a such thing as
Not
healthy.
the bananas. What's going on with the host? What happened?
Oh,
Wait. Well, this might be.
hold on. Wait a minute. Let's find it. What are we doing? Oh, hold on. We're not gonna be okay with racism. Not in this chat.
I don't think he means it. I don't think he means it. Wait, look at Tia about right. She don't take gifts like that. Wait. Oh my God, I can't. But thank you for stopping by. Tia, Tia said, but thank
He
you.
said, "Oh, I'm gonna get a nigga a banana." Okay. All right.
RJ, way to send us home. RJ, way to send us home. Oh, wait, look at Truth. He's talking about, I got a gift for you. Okay, let me put that right on up here. And you talking about some, wait. Let's find it. Looking at you. Talking about, wait. I got one for you.
I got one.
Wait, we
It's in
told
here
you
somewhere.
one time you didn't use that at the right moment. You ain't forgot
I
since.
forgot. I'm on it. I'm on it now. I'm like, shit, let's get it.
RJ. He
It's
said,
a
okay.
gift.
Look, RJ said, okay. He didn't mean it. He didn't mean it.
No, we just playing with you, RJ.
We
man.
just playing RJ. Oh. All right, said the nigga with a banana. All right, so we love y'all. Wait, you don't have that on the board, do you?
No,
The
I can do
soundboard.
that myself.
Ooh, if you had a monkey on the soundboard.
I do that shit with kids, and they nut up on that one.
The tears say, hey, good night. Oh my God, my stomach. All right, I love y'all so much, and we will be back next week, huh? Or are you gonna? We'll talk about it, or you'll be here.
I'll be out of town next week, but
we'll still be here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. Well, it's been real.
Yeah, it's been real. Love y'all, man. Thank y'all for sliding in. I have made it a wonderful occasion.
Yes.
We are greatly appreciative of everything.
We always love y'all. And Dynamics is gonna get in the comments and talk to y'all on the aftermath.
That's what I'm gonna do.
He's gonna be more active on that.
Yes, I am.
Wait, Nut Up. Okay, Nut Up is diabolical. All right. God, you keep messing up.
Where's little dude at? And she acting like the young homie, Tebow's son, Dior.
Oh, Dior. Diabolical. Oh my God. All right, y'all. We love you. Thank you for coming, and we see y'all next week. Peace.